Hey everybody, it's John from the Hustle Daily Show. Before we get into the news today, did you know that HubSpot launched an AI chatbot that helps you build awesome campaigns at scale with just a few prompts? It's called Campaign Assistant, and it's a totally free-to-use AI tool that will transform the way that you build marketing campaigns at scale. And the best part? It works seamlessly with all of HubSpot's marketing and sales tools to scale your output across email, social, and more. So AI your way into the most effective campaigns yet at HubSpot.com/campaign-assistant.
Howdy folks, it is Monday, July 25th. I'm Jacob Cohen, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. Today we're going to be diving into the yachtiverse, discussing why yachts are so popular right now, why we're hearing more and more about them in the news, and all about the money, the egos, and the ironies of this story. But before we get to that, we're going to run through some important business and tech stories to get you ready for the week. Let's get crack-a-lack. All right, first things first. So two big developments that kind of happened right before the weekend that will likely continue to be a large part of the discussion this week include Amazon's acquisition of One Medical. Basically, Amazon looking to vertically integrate healthcare between pharmacy logistics, physical healthcare locations, and telehealth. The second story is that the social giants are looking a little less giant. Major players like Snap and Twitter are reporting slower growth. Snap stock dropped almost 40% on Friday. Twitter reported a dip in revenue. Meta is reporting earnings on Wednesday, and unless they manage to buck the trend, more likely than not, they'll be looking to hide behind the metaverse. What is next? Tesla is bidding for part of billions in federal and state dollars that would require the automaker to open its Tesla-only supercharger network to other types of electric cars in the U.S. In the United States, there are only about 10,000 individual fast chargers that anyone can use. According to government data, Tesla's supercharger network has around 14.6 thousand chargers for its drivers, so this could be a big financial opportunity for the company if they play it right. In related news, by the way, Elon Musk was reportedly engaged in a brief affair last fall. This was news coming out over the weekend. He was reportedly engaged in an affair last fall with the wife of Google co-founder Sergey Brin, prompting Brin to file for divorce earlier this year. We're not TMZ, but that's about as juicy as the tech buzz gets, so thought we'd throw it in. Moving along, hard seltzer is living up to its name and getting hit hard. Sales have fallen 18% year over year in July. The low-calorie beer alternative shot to the top of the beverage charts for much of the last few years, but has recently lost a lot of its fizz. Sorry for all the puns. It was hard not to, but Also, the United States Postal Service has officially decided to go more green than it was originally planning on doing, saying it will now make at least 40 to 50% of its new trucks for its nationwide fleet electric vehicles, up from the originally planned 10 to 20%. The USPS operates around 212,000 or so vans, making up a third of all U.S. government-owned vehicles. And lastly, before we get moving along, has anyone listening today seen this Tollywood film? Apparently it's this Telugu language half-action, half-dance flick that's taking over the world. It's taking over Netflix. Made over $150 million worldwide. I think I might have to watch it tonight, see what it's all about. Either that or Gray Man, which I heard was solid but unmemorable. It's Yacht Boy Summer. That's basically the best way to describe it. Yachts have been in the news a lot recently. We have governments seizing the yachts of Russian oligarchs. We have, just last week, we were fortunate enough to see shirtless photos of Elon Musk on a yacht. The man was in need of 1,000 SPF sunscreen. You know, he was on a yacht. Then we probably have one of the more ironic stories of them all. Jeff Bezos built the world's largest sailing yacht and then found out recently that the city of Rotterdam, where it was built, would not dismantle a bridge that had survived the Nazis, which the yacht needed dismantled so it could leave the city. 16,000 people signed up to throw rotten eggs at the boat if it were to indeed pass through the bridge, although for the time being it seems it is not going to be doing so. And then Evan Osnos of The New Yorker just had a great piece about all this, kind of highlighting the egos and ironies of this trend. This is all to say yachts are seemingly everywhere. Everyone with a certain net worth or level of importance in society is spending half their time out in the middle of the Pacific on one right now. This isn't really just a perception kind of thing. Like, yachts are literally flying off the shelves. So first of all, a primer on the different levels to the yacht life. So first and foremost, there's a yacht, which is usually around 30 feet long or more. And then you got super yachts, which need to be at least around almost 100 feet long. And there are about 5,400 of these in the world. And then lastly, you've got the giga yachts, which are, I think mega yachts actually might also be between the super yachts and the giga yachts. But you have the giga yachts, which are at least 295 or so feet long. And there are about only 100 of those in the world. And in 2021, the industry sold a record 887 super yachts worldwide, which was nearly twice the previous year's total. And there are more than 1,000 new super yachts on order. Shipyards are so backed up right now that clients who are unaccustomed to being told they have to wait in lines are having to wait in line. They're not just selling more, but these yachts are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Some of them are on par with Navy-guided missile destroyers, frequently costing hundreds of millions, $500 million in some cases. Every day you hear about these yachts fitting in some crazy new features, IMAX theaters, hospital rooms. I saw, you might remember David Geffen. He's got a 450-foot yacht back in 2017. I think the Obamas were spotted on it with him, with Oprah, Bruce Springsteen, Tom Hanks. The yacht has a staff of 57. And a couple of things are really driving this trend the last few years or so. The main one, obviously, being wealth. So since 1990, the United States supply of billionaires has increased from 66 to more than 700. And in that time, the number of mega or giga yachts, so longer than 200 feet or so, went from less than 10 to more than 170. Then you also have 21st century and COVID trends too, related to this, right? Remote work, not wanting to be among so many people, avoiding paparazzi, hating your neighbor. That's a very common trait these days. And if you're out in the middle of the Pacific, you have no neighbors to hate. It's a perfect life. Also on a boat, you can have a 50-person staff like David Geffen does, and no one really think twice about it because no one's really there to see it. But frankly, if you have a massive house and 50 people schlepping towels and food around for you, it's kind of a weird look nowadays. But on a boat, not so much. Anyway, long story short, yachts are in. They're getting even more in as more and more multimillionaires and billionaires come about. It's a booming industry with many downstream effects throughout the yacht economy. Demand for crew members are up, captains, yacht welding specialists. It's a great time to be in the yacht biz. And if anyone listening to this episode is in the space, reach out to us on Twitter. We'd love to hear about the story from some more people on the ground, or I guess on the water. All right, bada bing, bada boom. That is going to do it for us today, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor today is Ezra Trubriano. Our executive producer is Dan Clark. I'm Jacob Cohen. We've got a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not signed up, you can get signed up at thehustle.com. Hope you have a truly miraculous Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey guys, if you listen to the Hustle Daily Show on Google Podcasts, we want to let you know that the option will no longer be available pretty soon. Google is sunsetting its podcast app sometime in early 2024 in favor of YouTube Music, and we want to give you a heads up before it's too late, since that time's almost here. The Hustle Daily Show is available everywhere and anywhere that you listen to podcasts, like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're using YouTube Music, we are there as well. If you're an Android fan, there are plenty of apps like Overcast, Pocket Casts, Player FM, and more. So just search for us wherever you decide to listen to your favorite podcasts.